I've done this little sketch of based on the previous painting. It's a rocky stream, but I'm using this Archer's £140 rough. It's very different from my normal Fabriano. This is the Fabriano. These are quarter sheets now, quarter eighth sheets. This one's about 12 by 8 inches. This one's a much smoother surface, more slick. This one is such good, wonderful quality. It's a bit heavier than £130 Fabriano. So it behaves very differently. I'm still going to do wet in wet with it. So I'll start by just giving it a bit of a damp. Don't want to leave any sparkly bits on this. Just going to. It's very warm here today in London, in the southeast. Going up to about 32, which is, to some countries, is quite cool, isn't it? But we're not used to it. And it's nice when it happens. But we still moan about it. It's the thing about us Brits, we always moan about the weather. Oh boy, do we get some weather. You can never really rely on it for summer. That's why so many people go abroad. Right, okay, so here's my palette: lemon yellow, raw sienna, alizarin crimson, light red, ultramarine, burnt umber, Payne's grey and burnt sienna. I'll just let that soak in a bit while I natter away. Favourite watercolour painters? Well, Ted Wesson, of course, Edward Wesson. Ron Ranson, who started the Fabriano, well not Fabriano, but wet in wet, I think he was using Bockingford. Ron lives in Idaho, I think, or no, Illinois. Oh, I can't remember, but he's still about. He's in his 90s now, early 90s. So if you ever get round to watching this one, many thanks on behalf of a lot of people that have learnt watercolour through your, or at least made progress in their initial goes at watercolour, because you made it easy for most of us. It's not easy, of course. Still have to practice until you can do it. But the big brush, the Von Ranson hake, stops you from fiddling and fussing around and poking and prodding to death. His brushes were really just a rigger and the hake, and an inch flat for doing straight edges. If you want straight edges on roofs and so on, I'm just going to put that bit of a wash over. Okay, we'll put a bit of alizarin in that. Obviously, it's going to be an autumny scene, so a bit of this, a bit of that. There's not a lot of this going to show because it's going to be behind trees, but just giving the paper a bit of a tint there. that will do. And we can put some green in the background, greeny blues. But I want to keep plenty of light greens, which that's a bit dirty. Edward Seago, another, well, great artist. What can we say about him? He's probably one of Britain's greatest in the last century, anyway. So mix a bit of ochre with that, or a bit of burnt sienna. Right. So this is just some background colour. Get some nice lemon yellow in there. And we'll paint into that, draw into that with our fingernail. Okay, so I don't know how this is going to lift out this paint with the card, with this quality paper, but I just want to put a bit of I want to keep that as clean as possible there. So I reckon to do that I can just blot that out. As you know, I'm not a great lover of blotting out, lifting out. Don't mind a bit, but this I'm going to paint over anyway. Just to keep that bit clean, because that is going to be my horizon. You hear the little girl next door? The grandchild, lovely. Right, I'll start to stiffen up this stuff in the background here now. I'll mix the umber with some burnt sienna. A bit of blue in there, I think. Just a bit of distant colour. Right, okay, let's put in some burnt sienna now and some ultramarine. I love these two colours. We get the real depth in there. You can take a lot of liberties with this paper. Put in some bushes down here. Put lots of colour in. Coming up here because that's the little hillock. That all nice and... Right, what's the green in there now? I'm going to use my fingernail in a moment. Just trying to get these greens in. This is just background. And we'll now, unfortunately, I've made this like similar to the other one, so I'm going to just put it over a bit to move the centre of interest to one side. I've gone too close to the middle, but it doesn't matter. We do now. Yeah, it does lift out. It's quite good for that. If I use a card, see what happens. And I can put harder trees, trunks over this. It's a nice wood, some thick, some thin, some behind others. Okay. We'll let that dry for a bit, then I can put some harder edge stuff in there. I love Edward Weston. He lived fairly well local to my daughter in Dorking. He lived in Shear, Guildford, in the southeast Surrey, or in Surrey County, in south of London. My own town used to be part of Surrey, part of Greater London now, although it's still called Surrey. Right, let's put in some background. Some nice greens, but quite thick now. A bit of water. Got to have some water with this rough stuff. And get a bit of grasses on the top of these little outcrops of landscape. And as we come into the foreground, we can make it warmer, but I want to just put in some bushes along here to separate it from the rock that I'm going to put underneath. Right, we'll put a bit of dark on here. I might do a bit of this with the varnish brush that I used yesterday. Right. So we're coming with some deeper greens now. So we'll warm up this green here. Right, I'll just let that soak in a little bit. Well, I'll just stiffen up some of that. The counter change. Put a bit of red in there, I think. Okay. Right, I'll just quickly put in the other side while that is just soaking in there. And we'll put a bit of green in here. Put some shadow on these as well. Just changing the colours. You want plenty of variety in the rocks when you scrape. That's going to be stiffened up there. So let's go card happy now. Let's just see if we can. Just picking out the high spots of the highlights. Just give that a bit of a stretch, I think. Keep it fairly flat. It's a gorgeous paper, this. I don't really think I'm doing it justice. But and I can put some shadow back on this. I'm not overdo it. This is so easy to get carried away with this. But it saves painting the wretched things. That'll do. Let's go back and just put a little bit of detail back in there. I'm not going to clean the hake out. I'm just going to a bit of blue and a bit of the sienna. So we want some, these are sort of leaves on the trees, and now it's sending the misty background further back. And we'll finish off with a bit of rigger work. So I'm moving everything over to the left a little bit. Just very delicate touching of the hake for the leaves. Right, I'll do a bit on the other side, change the side of my brush. Bit of burnt umber, bit of red. Then we'll connect up the dots. We've got to do the we've got to do the water yet, but just wait for that to. Bit of texture now in these bushy things here, and this also helps to counter change the lighter background on the rocks. Right, okay, let's just, no, that won't flick now, so it's a little bit too dry now. And we'll just put in some greeny detail. But we don't want to do too much here. Okay, now with a clean hake, I'll mix up a bit of umber, bit of blue, bit of just a sort of a nondescript grey, and let's just start using a hake. This is where we can overdo things if we're not careful. I think I might use the rigger for this, if I can find it. Rigger, where are you? Oh, there it is. Right, so you've got to be thick with the paint on this rough paper. So I use the hold it at the tip. Don't want too many of these. Okay, when that dries down the bottom, I'll put some twiggy stuff in there. We'll do some here. I'm going to put some blue ones in a minute. Right, now they're going with some bluey. Quite watery, because I want these to not be obvious. These are the distant ones. Right, we'll put a bit more harder leafy things in there. No, I don't need to bring that into the bank below here. Right, now we just want to do some of this now. Just to anchor that side and the trees. Okay, right, I'll get my hake and I'll put in a bit of water, but I've forgotten to drink my tea, so I'm going to have a swig of that. And then we'll put some detail in there. I always forget my tea, and I still haven't used the inch varnish brush. Right, I'm going to leave that white to put a little bit of grey across here. And I'll put some green in there. There's a sort of a shadowy reflection in the water. Just darken that there. And we'll just so this will show some sort of placid water, I hope. No, I don't want to do too much there. There we go. Nice straight hake there. Let's just put in some right, well that is the best I can do with that. And I'll put a bit of yellow. Right, I'm going to thicken up some of those right, a bit more of the vigour now. And we'll put in some burnt umber and some darks, some twiggy. Don't do too much. They'll sign it. Don't know where. Well, I'm going to let that go. I'll put it in a mount and we'll have a look. There's not much more to do with it. This isn't a copy of anybody's work, it's my own. That is a bit narrow. Well, let's just plonk it on. I'm afraid that my signature has let me down there. I'll just blot it out. I'll sign it when it's drying. So there we are. We have another woodland scene. Let's okay, so there we are. So we'll go straight. Nah, I can't do that. I don't. I wish I could afford to pay a professional filmmaker to do all this, but I've never mastered. Well, there we are. Maybe that's just a little bit too white. Let's just touch it with a bit of lemon yellow. See what we can, because that would reflect the background a little bit. Bit of sienna. Trying to show some wind ruffling. We're using paint rather than lifting out. Okay, well that's it. That's it. No more. Thanks for watching. That was quite placid there. I'm reasonably happy with that. That hasn't come out very well there. The shadow. So maybe we can just add a little bit of shadow. You know, just a bit of burnt umber and I've lost the one there. Right, okay, before I muck it up, that's it, a woodland scene. Thanks for watching, see you soon, bye bye.